Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, I am Psychic Bella Love. So, Kyle and Mauricio, yesterday it was rumored that they were splitting up. Today, she put out a very weirdly worded statement saying they're not getting divorced, but that they've had a challenging year and they're trying to work through things. So we're going to take a look real quick and see what is going on there. There's also been rumors that she's been hooking up with a female country star named Morgan. I want to say Morgan Wade. I don't want to get it confused with Morgan Wallen, who I also don't know who that is or what songs they sing. I just always see every time that they post Billboard stats, that person always is like holding the #1 spot. So we will take a look and see what's going on there, because as people were saying, you know, the same thing was happening with Monique Samuels, and then she told everybody to, you know, shut the heck up and mind their business, and then only to turn around and file for divorce from Chris. What was it, like 2 or 3 months after that anyways? So people are saying, you know, it's the same thing with Kyle. Also, I found it suspicious that, you know, this statement or whatever, because it was People, and usually People only report stuff when they have like a real credible source for something like that. You know, that it coincidentally happens as soon as they're no longer filming and the day before a holiday. Because I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but like sometimes when people who, you know, if they're celebrities, famous, known, whatever you want to call Kyle, sometimes wait and then file like the day before a holiday or on a holiday, so that way everybody's too distracted with, oh my god, it's 4th of July, instead of being like, oh my god, Kyle and Mauricio are getting a divorce. So you know, that was kind of my first thought yesterday when I heard everything, but I was super busy, so I didn't have time to sit down and pull cards on it and see what Spirit has to say. So we're going to take a look now. Spirit, can you please tell us what in the heck is going on with Kyle and Mauricio marriage? Thank you. And if you are not already subscribed, please do so. I do have consistent content returning. I had to take a break for a minute because school let out, and my kid's gonna do online school next year too, so we kind of had to like figure things out a bit. But we are back to it. But I am live every Saturday, and I will have the links to all my information down below. I do not accept requests for any types of, you know, celebrity videos on YouTube. However, you can join the Patreon for that. And we also have exclusive content over there. And I go live each week there as well. Also, if you wanted to book your own personal private reading with me, psychicbellalove.com. And all of my prices have been lowered for the month of July, starting at $35. That will be on the website. No coupon code needed. So let's see what cards and Spirit have to say about this. I mean, first and foremost, Spirit is saying that there has been, you know, sort of a infidelity and stepping out on both sides, you know, not just Mauricio, but Kyle too, because it does feel like there was sort of a don't ask, don't tell policy going on, and more so like just keep it quiet, don't let me get embarrassed, don't let me have to address this anywhere. I don't want to, you know, have the world be questioning what we've got going on over here. So, you know, neither party has been super innocent in things. However, this does feel like there is a definite split looming. And it's kind of like right now things are in this hangman position. We're sort of sitting here trying to figure out where do we move forwards. Both of us know that we're not exactly happy in this situation. I don't feel like anybody's super miserable either, but I do feel like they have truly grown apart. And right now what Spirit's saying is both of them have so much money tied up and invested into this relationship that it's not just about how does this look to the world, but also, Mauricio has a show and he got that because of him being known as being Kyle's husband on the Beverly Hills Housewives. Kyle, has sort of always had her family as a bit of a storyline for herself on the show. They do have investments. They do have money, that they've got to sort out. And it feels like it is about trying to sort out the financials of things before anything final really truly is announced. Spirit is saying this was kind of a soft launch of the divorce, if that makes sense. We're going to test the waters. We're going to put that out there and kind of see how people react and then take it back, make it seem like everybody's overhyping stuff, even though it was our PR people who, called People magazine and released this information. And then, we're going to pretend like, no, everything's fine. We're working everything out. But really, we're discussing how's everybody splitting the money and how are we going to separate our finances from one another. And then here comes the actual divorce announcement. Because there is a Tower card here. There is the Eight of Cups, showing somebody walking away from this situation. Mauricio is coming up as that person that really pulls the plug, so to speak. I don't mean it as in he'll be the first person to file. I mean that he's the one that's going to ultimately just tell Kyle, I don't want to pretend to be together anymore just for the image. I'm willing to kind of wait a little bit so that we can kind of get our story straight and get our shit settled before we pull the plug on this. But I'm not going to spend another 20 something years, pretending to be your husband publicly and then living a separate life privately. So, oh boy. And Spirit said, whatever Kyle has going on anyways, she still has to, number one, she's very affected by what people think of her. She is very concerned about her public image. But number two, what Spirit's saying is, Kyle is stressed about the idea of Mauricio being on the market and the girls that are going to throw themselves at him. And the funny thing is that yes, it bothers her to think about him having another girlfriend. But the thing that really bothers her is the idea that maybe people are going to catch Mauricio having a freaking orgy in a pool in the middle of Cancun with a bunch of college girls. I'm afraid that he's going to go be really sloppy with it. And then everybody's going to say, see, he was cheating on Kyle the whole time. Rather than it being, no, Mauricio was perfectly faithful until this relationship was 100% done for good. And then he moved on. And then, he found somebody else and started dating them. That's what she wants. She wants Mauricio to just not be seen with anybody for 2 years and then date somebody that's appropriate for him because she feels like anything else is going to put more speculation back on. Oh, Kyle knew when she was just putting up with everything because she just wanted to hold on to Mo. So that's funny. Because Spirit's saying, again, it's they've always sort of had this don't ask, don't tell agreement. And the reason why she would just get upset was not so much that, oh, people are saying my husband's with another woman, but how does it look that I'm, you know, being seen as the kind of woman that would stay with a man that cheats on her, and then people are gonna say, well, maybe Kyle is not a good wife, and that's why Mauricio has to go out and try to find other girls. Because it all goes back to, what do people think about Kyle, and not Kyle really truly is protecting this marriage. Spirit, can you tell me what is going on with Kyle and Morgan? Thank you. And also, of course, I feel like, you know, Kyle is hoping that if they do, you know, truly announce a divorce, she's going to try to time it between seasons. We just finished filming a season. We have a, you know, 6-month break or something before we pick up cameras again, because she wants things to have died down enough so that she's not getting questioned and cornered on camera about, well, what happened? And did he cheat or did you cheat? She doesn't want to answer all that stuff. Kyle's really never kind of been in the hot seat, I guess. Or at least not to as much of an extent as like maybe other cast members have been. I don't watch the show, so I'm not sure. But it just feels like that, and it feels like that's sort of always been one of her big fears. So that's why she'll kind of play like sneaky games behind the scenes, like, no, go after Erica, go after Sutton, go after Garcelle, leave me alone. You know, I'm gonna even throw my own sisters under the bus because I don't want everybody, you know, and I don't want to be the target this year, which that's why I can't, you know, I kind of just got over watching those shows, because it did just feel like every single season somebody was the target and everybody had to pile on to that person. And it just kind of felt like bullying. And then it was like, okay, well, now that we broke her down, we can move on to the next victim next season. And it just felt too much for me to watch that. So that's why I just kind of stopped watching all of the Real Housewives shows. But yeah, Kyle's definitely trying not to have to be called to the table. Let's see. Okay, so there's a friendship going on between her and Morgan. I don't feel that they've hooked up or anything like that yet. Doesn't mean that they won't, but it feels like, number one, Kyle was looking for a friend and emotional support system outside of her marriage and outside of anybody on the show and outside of her sisters, because that relationships are always so back and forth, up and down, whether it's her and Kim or her and Kathy. So Spirit's saying it's like she kind of glommed onto her as a distraction. Look at my new shiny toy. I'm so excited because I get to go hang out with this person, and they're younger, so they bring me around younger people. It makes me feel young again. So it's kind of a midlife crisis energy in a sense. She's, you know, playing in a bit here and there to the whole, oh, people think that we're having a lesbian affair because it's good ratings. Like, people are going to watch the next season to see, oh, are we going to see Kyle and her girlfriend on there? And is there anything weird that we can pick up from watching this? So it's playing, you know, into speculation. However, her attention and her focus still, for the most part, was still on Mo and what was happening there. I do feel like Kyle is going to be very weird about how she moves in her romantic life going forwards. Like, oh, I'm not even ready to date. I'm not even thinking about that, you guys. I'm just over here trying to, you know, get my grounding as a new single mom and figuring out what my next chapter is and just focusing on my fitness journey. And it's Ozempic, allegedly, but we know it's true. But Spirit's saying she is going to be desperately looking for a man. Kyle has never really been single. She doesn't like it. She feels like, again, not only perception matters to her so much, but she is a very, like, emotionally needy person, which isn't a horrible thing. You know, some people need somebody in their life so that they have emotional support, whereas other people maybe are very self-sufficient when it comes to their emotional needs, and they're just like, I don't need anybody else because I can, you know, take care of myself that way. So I do feel like she is going to be, you know, kind of desperately searching out to find her next partner, but she's not going to publicly allow people to know that that's what's going on. And I do feel like she'll end up getting set up with somebody through like a friend. It could be like a Diana Jenkins type person, because I do feel like this is another guy that has money who's going to be slightly older. He will not be as attractive as Mo. Not that he's going to be ugly. I'm just saying, I feel people saying like, damn, Mo is so hot. Now she just was like a normal guy. But this normal guy has a lot of money. And it's about, again, her wanting to feel like she has somebody she's protected. So I don't feel like it's going to take Kyle a super long time to pop up with somebody new once everything is said and done. But like I said, it'll be very more on the hush hush that she even is looking for a partner, because she'll just keep telling everybody publicly that she's not worried about it, while privately she's going on dates and trying to figure things out. So, but I don't feel like she's going to publicly come out as a lesbian and date this girl. Even if she does, like, hook up with her and stuff, nah, I don't feel like Kyle is, like, I'm trying to think of how do you explain it. It's like some people, like, may like both genders or be pansexual, but they have, like, preferences when it comes to an actual relationship. And I do feel like for Kyle, you know, like, she would just want to be with another man. So let's see. Spirit, what can you tell us about Mo and what he is planning on doing? Wouldn't it be funny if Mo had ended up with Kendra Wilkinson? Because while I was saying, Spirit, what's going to go on with Mo, I kept feeling like his next girlfriend that we publicly see him with, you know, because he's going to have a hell of a time partying it up, is going to be somebody else that's in that real estate space too, but like slightly younger, like more in their maybe 40s, late 30s. And then I was just thinking, who, like, would that even be? Because I was trying to think, like, I don't watch any of the real estate type shows. And I had just seen the other day scrolling through HBO Max that Kendra Wilkinson has a show. And so I was like, oh my God, wouldn't that be so freaking funny if they ended up together? I actually think they'd be cute together. Now that I think about it, I actually think that they would be cute together. I don't know if Mo is willing to, like, do the whole little kid thing again, because he's been there, done that. But, I mean, and he seems like he's a really good dad. But, you know, sometimes people are just like, oh, I'm too old to, like, go back and have to raise little kids all over again, especially if yours are all in adulthood. But I actually kind of just think that they would be really cute. Let me know if you guys think I'm crazy for that one. I mean, Mo would have to keep it in his pants, though. And Kendra's already been through enough with her husband's ex-husband, you know, doing some dirt on the side. So I don't know how that would work out, but optics wise, I think that they seem like they would be adorable together. So, yeah. Mo's about to be out here being a hoe. Because it's like, well, I'm free. I can go out and bang whoever I want and do whatever I want whenever I want. And I don't have to be so tiptoe around and lie and sneak and hide to do it. Let's see. He'll have a moment where he calms down, especially if he feels like it's going to affect him financially. Then all of a sudden, the partying and all of that will stop, because I do get, you know, like, people kind of being like, that's not a good look, especially producers on shows and people around him being like, calm down. Yeah, but he will end up finding somebody. I give it a year of kind of just going out and doing his thing. And then all of a sudden, you know, we see him with this Queen of Swords type of a woman, meaning she's a great communicator. She's very much like, I make my money, I'm very focused, I'm about my stuff, but I also like to have fun, because, you know, this could represent any of the air signs, but it also represents the energy that comes with those signs. So Spirit's talking about somebody that like communicates and makes a lot of deals each day, as in, you know, like I said, I really feel like this person's going to be in real estate as well. It might be, and we'll probably see this person on the show, or maybe they came from another show selling real estate, but it is going to be somebody that's a little kind of known, not like super famous. Maybe it's just like, oh yeah, like she was on some other show about, you know, some HGTV show or something like that, and that's how they met, and then they ended up starting to work together, because I do feel like, you know, it'll be kind of like how oh my god, what is that guy's name? The one that was married to Christina and they used to do the flips on HGTV, and then he married some girl that's on like, is it Selling Sunset? Now, it'll be something like that, and we'll see Mo and this girl working together a lot, like doing deals. So, and Kyle will have a mental breakdown about it, even though she'll have somebody else. She's still, like, Spirit just says that Kyle is very insecure. Very, very insecure. Very, very jealous, and very, very consumed with her image, with how people perceive her, with wanting to always be seen a certain way, and, you know, maybe I gotta do a reading on their family dynamic someday. Like, what did your mom do to y'all that made you like come out so? Because Kathy's kind of the only one that seems to have it somewhat together, but Kathy seems like she also just disassociates from things, if that makes sense. And it's just like, I can't be emotionally attached to everything. I have to boss everybody around and try to control things. Whereas like Kim is overly sensitive. Kyle is overly sensitive. So, but I've heard Big Kathy was an interesting person. So anyways, guys, we will definitely see a divorce announcement coming. You know, like I said, I feel like this was the soft launch. Who do you guys want Mauricio to hook up with? And who do you want Kyle to end up with? Let me know in the comments. And I am going to go ahead and end that here. If you wanted to book your own personal private reading, join the Patreon, follow me on Instagram, or check out my Amazon storefront. All of my information will be linked in the description box below. And let me know how you guys all feel about all of this. Love you. Have a good one. Bye.